My name is Maria Contreras, and today I will be talking about SEL and my classroom in action. So, first, I want to talk about the importance of social emotional learning within teachers. So, it's important for teachers to implement strategies that foster students' culture, background, emotions, and points of view. It's very important that as teachers, we allow our students to feel a sense of community and a sense of belonging. So we must understand that all of our students come from multiple different backgrounds and that we have to meet the needs of all of our students. We need to make sure that we create a safe and welcoming learning environment and that we have empathy for our students and that we teach students the importance of understanding their own emotions and feelings. It's very important that our students understand that it's okay to feel, a vast different types of emotions. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel happy. It's okay to feel anything that they want to feel. It is okay, and they need to know that. But then what we have to do as teachers is we need to make sure that they have strategies in order to cope, in order to understand that there are going to be hardships and that there are going to be times that, that we're going to be sad, and that's okay. So, importance of social emotional learning within the classroom. So, students not only need the core classes and the math, the science, the ELA, the social studies. But in order to have students learn and access the curriculum and access the standards, they need to feel safe before they can even learn. So we need to create a safe and nurturing learning environment for them in order to then be able to teach them the academics. We need to create strong relationships with our students. We need to get to know every single one of our students and get to know their likes and their culture and embrace it. We must foster student feelings and have empathy. We need to improve their academics. With improving academics, what comes before is the emotional part, is the social part. We need our students to be able to collaborate with their groups, with their peers, build those relationships, become self-aware, be able to manage their everyday life. And with all of that, as teachers, of course, we'll start seeing undesirable behaviors and we'll see them decrease, which is always our goal. So 3 tips that I personally use in my classroom and that I found super interesting with reading the book and other course material. So one thing that I have found very useful in my class with 6th graders, it's a little hard to do now through COVID, but one second, sorry. So, like I said, restorative circles are very, very helpful. The kids love it. At first, it was a little difficult for my students to understand how to go about it, but after I modeled for them, they caught on very fast and they actually began saying that they wanted to do at least once a week. So through virtual learning, we actually just go around our Google Meet based on the way that they're set up. And that's how we do our restorative circle. But restorative circles do work, but as teachers, we need to make sure that we plan ahead of time and already come with a topic for our students to be able to be engaged and begin talking. And then it kind of just, it leads to other places where the students feel comfortable enough to share what's going on in their life or just about anything. One quote that I actually got from the book was teachers can also naturally foster skills in students through their interpersonal and student-centered instructional interactions throughout the school day. Adult-student interactions support SEL when they result in positive student-teacher relationships, enable teachers to model social-emotional competencies for students, and promote student engagement. So, as teachers, our students aren't going to know much about SEL. They're not going to know how to implement SEL within the day, within the class, within their own lives, unless we teach those strategies to our kids. So, as students, they need to understand that we are the models. And in order for that to happen, we need to show that we can model those strategies and that we can give them the correct strategies in order to be successful in academics with their peers, and that they can excel in their academics with our help. I can't stress it enough about student-teacher relationships. I have countless times have built rapport with my students and be able to see the difference between when that happens. I've struggled with some kids that it was very hard for me to connect with. And once I learned things that they enjoyed, things that they liked, common interests, they opened up, and the problem behaviors decreased a lot, if not completely. And then another strategy and tip are daily check-ins. My students love these check-ins. Sometimes it'll just be a random question on what did you do yesterday? What did you eat yesterday? If you could have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Every day it's a different question. And my students really enjoy just me. They've expressed how even me just, wanting to even read their answers. And the next day I'll reflect and say, I like the way some of you said that if you could have one last meal, it would be spaghetti or cereal. And they really liked the fact that I went back and read all of their responses. And I usually typically do that through a Google form, which is great. So again, it does connect with the CASEL. I like to say CASEL just so it's easier for me to remember as like an acronym. So empathy, of course. As teachers, we need to make sure that we are always, that we have empathy for our students. We want our students to be able to manage, their own actions and be accountable for what they do, and kind of just make sure that they understand that if they did something wrong, that's why it's wrong and how can we move forward. So taking ownership is very, very important. Self-awareness, we want our students to become self-aware. We need them to be able to understand that before they do anything, before any action or an event, that all of those, they think about before, that they're aware. Self-management, we want our students to be able to become, great at managing their time, managing their assignments, managing their classes, managing their own personal life. I often see a lot of my kids at the 6th grade level take care of their siblings and take on responsibilities that middle school students shouldn't. So, helping them. And then last one, responsible decision making. We want our students, of course, to get to the point where they can make responsible decisions. Of course, we know that kids are kids, but if we give them more strategies and more ways to help them make those decisions and make responsible decisions, it gives them more, you know, more reasons to make those responsible decisions. So it's super important that as teachers, we give our students that platform to succeed, to become lifelong learners, college ready. And here are my references. So you can go ahead and click on those links and be able to read more about the 5 different competencies of SEL, restorative circles, and how to implement those in your classroom. Thank you.